Hi Megan, how are you?
Hey Ranjeet, I'm great. How are you doing today?
Wonderful, wonderful.
Awesome. Are you ready to answer some more questions for us?
Absolutely. And we have some Sanjay also waiting for us. So we'll take this question and invite him also. So
Okay.
let's take. So what's the question today?
Yeah, today's featured question is how can I leverage my speaking engagements to strengthen my EB1A green card application?
Oh, wonderful. In fact, we get this question quite often, Megan, that people get opportunities to speak and how to leverage it. Now, this can be looked upon in three ways. The first is USCIS, I think in 2022 had come out with a policy kind of notification which indicated that if you are submitting a paper in a conference and that is your speaking engagement, definitely that can go as a scholarly article also. But yes, you have to give a script and transcript of the entire, kind of a video presentation. If you can give a snapshot of that and everything. So that is number one. Number two is that, in fact, the latest US policy manual update on, I think, September 2023, in fact, clarified that this is how one can effectively use their speaking engagements. USCIS requires evidence that individual has achieved sustained national or international acclaim in their field. Now, speaking engagement at any prestigious event can serve as evidence of this acclaim if it is well documented. Now, especially US policy manual recognizes that having received unsolicited invitation to speak or present research at nationally or internationally recognized conference indicates a person's high standing and recognition for achievement in their field, and this type of evidence can positively demonstrate that a person is amongst one of the rare people. And I think speaking engagements are very important for this particular aspect. Now, comprehensive documentation that evidences that you can give is that invitation to speak, program or agendas listing your participation, if there is any media coverage, or if there are any testimonials or letter of endorsement, photographs, and everything. So I think these are the ways in which it can be done. Sometimes, if it is something like, let's say, some kind of a work product is being displayed or demonstrated, one can also use this as a showcase criteria. That's another option. So first is scholarly article. Second could be, in terms of showcase, could exist actually depending on what kind of metrics one is using to demonstrate it. And the third could be even as a comparable evidence. So one needs to put all these three things together actually to establish, a very rock solid case. I would say, or a very ironclad case for himself or herself. One could do that.
Gotcha. And then are there, can you speak to any kind of practical steps to leveraging speaking engagements?
I beg your pardon. What did you say?
You maybe talk about some practical steps to leverage speaking engagements.
Yeah, I mean, one should always, try to, as I said, the evidences are very, very important here. The key, please understand, the USCIS is not going to give you EB1A or award EB1A because you have spoken. The key aspect is what is the impact and subsequent recognition. So if you can document any result impact from your speaking engagement, such as follow-up projects, collaboration, or if there has been a media coverage which says that, okay, your speech was attractive or it was very good, this can further, boost your influence. The key idea is to establish influence, not the initiative by itself. Right. And yes, so here the testimonials will be a very important aspect here.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we have Sanjay here with us. So let me see if he has any question or he would just like to be on backstage. So let us have him with us. So let's see. So hi Sanjay, how are you?
Hey, good, Ranjeet. Ranjeet, I had this question, right? So speaking of speaking opportunities, how can one approach or get such an opportunity, and what steps do we reach out to the people in some organizations, and what would be a leveraging factor so that I could potentially be chosen as compared to a lot of the other people who might be applying for the same sort of opportunities?
Wonderful. The first thing that we always say that if you are on your EB1A journey, the core aspect is your expertise and the possible impact that you can create of your expertise. Would you like to speak about your field generally? without disclosing too much?
Sorry, what was that?
Can you talk about your field? Any specific field that you belong to, or you
Yeah,
are
cybersecurity.
very good? So, in cybersecurity, there would be multiple conferences which are being held. The first step I would always suggest that if you really want to kind of demonstrate your eligibility to create some kind of a speaking engagement, would be, write something in some reputed journals and reach out to organizers of some events. If you look at LinkedIn, if you look in the web, there are several. I can practically tell you every month, even in the USA, online or offline, there will be at least 8 to 10 events on cybersecurity which would be held. To reach out to them saying that you have created this particular paper which is very unique of its kind, and you would like to take an opportunity to present that document to them actually. And I have seen that many of our students who have been doing that, they have been getting these opportunities, and which again, if it is a paper, then you can always use it as a showcase. Your existing paper that you have written, that becomes a kind of an opportunity. So this is what it would be. I would say that you may like to solicit for that. So there has to be some kind of a context that you should give, and I'm trying to say that the context could potentially be a paper that you would have written or some article that you might have been published. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. One of the follow-up question along with this was that there are also workshops, right? So a lot of organizations, they conduct workshops where, sort of like, I'm not sure if workshop can be considered as a speaking opportunity, but it's also something, falls under public speaking and probably, engaging with your audience and helping them understand, some things about maybe a paper, maybe on a topic or things like that nature. What do you think of that?
Okay, as I said, there are three aspects a good speaking engagement can be manifested for your EB1A evidence, as an EB1A evidence. The first, I said, it could be a scholarly article itself. Actually, if you are invited to present a paper and you talk about it, that is one way. Second, when you speak about workshop, definitely if you have some kind of your approach to cybersecurity, something very unique, a work product that you are demonstrating, it could possibly even go as a showcase criteria. Because you are leveraging your engagement to kind of, showcasing your skills or expertise essentially here. And the last, I would say that if somebody were to come that if there is no work product involved or something, but yet you did something, if you can also demonstrate some kind of an impact that how your participation as a speaker in a workshop help people. In fact, I would rather say that you might be able to leverage it even better than a speaking engagement, because the difference between workshop and speaking engagement is speaking, you are just talking. Workshop, there is some kind of an activity concurrently happening. Some demonstration is there, some initiative is being it's like a workshop, it's like a laboratory thing kind of. You're doing people, you are demonstrating, there are equipments out there. It's that kind of a thing. So it is even better, I would say, that if you can produce right evidences, and then if it cannot be a showcase or a scholarly article, definitely it won't be a scholarly article, but then you can definitely put it as a comparable.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, any other question you have? Take your time, no problem.
Yeah, sure. So how much importance does original contribution hold within EB1A? Like, with some like when I sort of like see online, a lot of even attorneys sort of say that without original contribution, it's pretty much not going to be like a concrete petition. So I'm just asking you questions. I'm not an expert. You're the expert. So
no. Let me try to respond to that. And after coaching at least 17 to 18 EB1 achievers from our program also, I can tell you this based on the observation. I have met at least close to around 40 to 50 EB1 achievers and studied over 1,000 cases across actually. So I'm giving you a very incisive and precise output in response to your question. I like your question very much. Many people feel that it is there. Definitely, original contribution helps to strengthen it. That's the first thing I would say that. But Without that, you cannot get that. I may not necessarily agree. We have had a lot of people in the program, and I have met people outside the program who got their EB1A without original contribution. So that should answer this question. But let me give you a statistical information which might impress you why your lawyers are saying this also, and it's a very constructive way I would say this. I'm yet to see an RFP, or I would say a good RFP, something that's like a really somebody wants to reject you or annoy if original contribution is approved. Are you getting that?
Okay.
So, because what happens is original contribution, if that criteria is approved, I think it helps you a lot because it demonstrates that you have done a genuine contribution in your field. Then the RFPs which I have seen are very fundamental in nature, or W2 for November 2023 is missing or something like that, which are very basic in nature.
Okay.
But if original contribution is not there or not approved, yes, I mean one can go very incisive actually. So definitely, I mean personally, if you ask me, I would definitely give a very high weight to original contribution. But legally, USCIS or law does not give a weight to that. But in your profile building, it is a very good thing.
Okay.
I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, that definitely does. I've just got like one
Okay,
little
sure.
one. So with speaking engagements, like of course you have, just speaking and then workshops. And are there any other forms of speaking engagements which can be used as a comparative evidence or anything of that sort?
Okay, let me tell you, if you go to a podcast, for example, as a guest,
right, okay,
that could potentially be. In fact, there is a school of thought. I'm just coming up like this. So even if you do LinkedIn Live events, also focusing specifically on this event across social media, there could be a possibility, depending on the audience and the feedback, if you can produce right evidences that it was impactful, you could possibly do that also.
Right.
So these are the two very strong and fundamental innovative approach. One of the good things about Sanjay, about EB1A is that it allows you to be creative.
Yeah.
So, and the burden of persuasion is upon you. So you can always leverage it to the best of your advantage.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Like, I mean, that's what I've been looking at so many things, and at so many different sort of like speaking to different people as well. Like, it is a very creative like way to prove of how you are at the top, like 5-10% whatever in your field. So yeah, like it's yeah, like I mean, I can get an award somewhere else which might be worth it, prestigious, and sort of good in the region, and that can be used. So yeah, like there are so many different ways, and one can also think out of the box, right? So,
Absolutely.
yeah, so I've been leaning on that direction as well, that hey, like once I feel that I am ready, and like I'm there. But as Megan has discussed with you, that like obviously I've got a visa challenge going on, so I'm applying for my H1B every year. But yeah, like this year it didn't get picked, last year it didn't get picked, so let's see how it goes.
Don't worry, I'm aware of your specific case. I have given my response to Megan, so you can talk to her what I feel about your case. So we'll talk about it separately.
Sure. Thank you.
Wish you all the best.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. So that was Sanjay, and okay, let's take another 2 questions, Megan, today.
Sounds great. All right, an anonymous member asks, I'm considering applying for the EB1A business category and have been discussing it with a few friends who are also in the process. Note, I'm currently on an H4 visa while my wife is on an H1B. Based on what they've told me, after applying, the first step is to receive an EAD, which allows me to work. This might take 4 to 6 months. However, once I have the EAD, I won't be able to take up a regular job. I'll need to start a business or make an investment as per the requirements of the EB1A visa in the USA. For clarity, is this true that I will need to start a business or make a significant investment after being approved for EB1A, or can I apply for a job?
So it's a very interesting. There are a lot of layers, so I will just keep it short and sweet and simple. Actually, I think the answer to that question is no. You don't have to start a business. And yes, you have to give us some kind of a personal statement that indicates that what you intend to do, and stick to that. Uh, you don't have to make a business visa. Doesn't mean that you have to start a business. That is not the intention of that. You can also take up a job. Once your petition gets approved, depending on your priority date, you can apply. It's called filing date, and based on the final action date, either your EAD will be issued in the interim till you. So there is a process, long process for that. To cut it short, I mean, you don't have to worry too much or intellectualize it at this moment. The key focus should be to get your I-140 approved for the purpose of your EB. I think that's good, Megan.
Yeah, great. And our last question, if it's from another anonymous member, they say, I know a PhD is not required for EB1A, but if I'm going for my PhD, how can this help towards my EB1A preparation?
Well, PhD per se, I mean, let I again come back. That's saying that your qualifications by itself do not carry any weight for the purpose of your EB1A. In fact, I always say that, okay, what are you without your qualifications, jobs, degrees, or business starting or companies is more important. So I would just say that, it might help you to leverage or gain more knowledge. That might help you to create an impact factor in your by virtue of your expertise. I mean, I've seen people 28-year-old undergraduate, even people not formally being educated, even getting EB1A Megan. So your PhD, for all the purpose of being PhD, would be inconsequential, but yes, it would definitely demonstrate, because by the time you do PhD, there are other metrics you would have fulfilled. You would have created, kind of lot of other things by that time. You would have done a lot of research, you have done a lot of citations, and that could be leveraged if research is your field of expertise. Definitely.
Right.
So that should be good, Megan. So thank you very much, friends. And in case you want to ask questions, please reach out to Megan or me. In case you want to join the next week program and fulfill your American dream and get your EB1A green card, I think you might like to click the link below. And wish you all the best and wish you happy weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye.